Kudala ndizulazula ndicinga lona uthando lwangempela. I've been searching up and down into deep waters of swim, searching for the only one, the one that I can call my.
Alright, so my name is Ndlovu-Bhebhe. On a normal day, I'm an environment officer at Ndlovu-Bhebhe RDC, which is across the road. But I'm here today because I'm the gender focal person for Ndlovu-Bhebhe District Council. So I'm here to get something from you. Yeah, so I was wondering, or I'm asking if there's a possibility that we can ask you to write something about the girl child in rural spaces and push the agenda. Since you're Zimbabwean, you're working for Forbes magazine, you've got access to a whole lot of other media houses, which we might not be able to get a hold of. How possible is that?
Okay, so first and foremost, I'll need to understand what the spaces are. Fortunately or unfortunately, I've not had much real interaction. So I'd like to come first and get an experience. Same thing I did earlier. Ugumo mentioned how I'm a United Nations ambassador. So when they asked me to be their ambassador, speaking especially around refugees, I said, you know, it's important for me to get into the refugee camps. As much as I'm a foreigner, I'm not a refugee. Zimbabweans are not refugees. So my understanding of refugees will be different. So I went into the different refugee camps around the continent, actually interact and get to understand their lives and what they go through, so that when I go and say now, I'm your voice, or I'm going to try and raise some concerns that you have because I've got a bigger platform, I know exactly what I'm talking about. So it will be important for me to get an understanding of, because now I can just assume. It's important for me to put faces and names to those assumptions and understand what the spaces are like. Anything for girls, anything for my country, I'll do. So certainly, I can hopefully help get into those spaces and see what's needed. You'll find maybe I'll get there and find that it's not just writing one article that's needed, maybe there's something more. So once we get past that, then we could be able to move forward, that's certainly good.
So maybe you guys can talk after that. There was a hand there, yeah.
Alright, my name is Ndlovu-Bhebhe. I'm a Part 2 journalism student at NAS. So my
Part 2?
Journalism student at
Okay.
NAS. So my question is, from the bulk of the things that you said, it's mostly successes. So I want to know what challenges you have faced and failures that you've encountered, particularly in journalism.
Sure, there's so many. So the reason why my story is filled with success is because I think I get amnesia when bad things happen to me. Like, I forget so many things, but there's some that reoccur that I remember. Most importantly, number one, sexism. I get it all the time. Imagine this. I sit with the richest people in the world. That's what Forbes writes about, right? So I have to get in and interview these people. There's a man, mostly over 50, who are used to being in control. They're controlling their homes and their offices of Kalasa. And then now they sit next to this young girl who wants to hold them to account and ask them questions. So the first ever interaction normally that happens is sometimes, oh, hello, oh, you're so pretty. I don't want to be told that in that professional space, because already an objectifying me as, why can't you say I'm strong? Or, you know, why am I just I'm not just pretty. So I get that. And then sometimes you're conducting an interview and just, oh no, honey, we'll come back to that. Don't honey me, sir. And they do that to get away from things, and they can even like tap your thigh. Oh no, honey, no, darling, oh no. It's not flattering. That's sexist, because they're not expecting you to come as hard on them as you did. So you'll get that a lot. And then you'll get a thing of, like, sometimes, especially in some parts of Africa where there's a lot of male chauvinism, you'll find that you'll go with a male counterpart. Sometimes I'll travel with our photographer, and they'll address him. But he's the photographer. I'm there to talk to you, to conduct the interview. I've been in spaces where they'll talk to him. And as stubborn as I am, I'm one to address those kind of things. So I always say, I met this one guy a few months ago. We were working on a project, a sports project, and I'm going to digress a little bit. She said I tell stories, I just thought of something. So we're working on a sports project, and then we were talking. I pointed out his male chauvinism, and he said, "Oh, you're one of those women." I was like, which ones? Like, hi, the lady or whatever. Hey, I was like, Mister, hold up. I don't care how long it takes. One man at a time, I'll teach you how to treat women and to see me as a professional that I am. Even if I'm going to just talk to 10 men in my life that I do that to, imagine if there's a million Ancillars who do that, how quickly we can change those ideologies. So I said, don't leave it unturned. Hey, auntie. That's my aunt. Oh, I love her so much. So I'm like, don't leave those things unturned, right? Say it, because the more you say it, the more men think that it's okay. At town is all this random guy, I'm like, that's disgusting. If you want to ask me out or there's something, approach me as a man that's worthy of my time. Don't, hey, psst, psst. So you get that. Men don't respect and value women, and it's good now that we're the powerful ones, right? We are the ones bringing the money, because women have always run homes, guys. If you think even your own household, mama have always been the leaders in communities. But now, because we're also educated, we know how to dress and put on lipstick, we're powerful, we know how to stand up for ourselves. We are dynamite. It depends. Yes, we are now starting to make more money than the men, and we should, because that's what they need to start respecting us, because we can own our own spaces. So have a voice. I've faced that a lot. Hey, hold on, man. I say it quickly, not only just to men. Also, women do that to you. Especially sometimes when I say secretary and whatever, they'll try to do that to you as well. So I say it very quickly. I remember I was speaking at an event for the African Leadership Academy, and when we go to the door, remember, we get to the door, and the lady quickly, she doesn't say hello, she doesn't say anything. She says, "Are your phones off?" Just like, I'm like, hold on. Immediately, like, okay, hold on. Hi, good afternoon. Hi to you too. My name is Ancillar. And you're? I'm here to speak. What's the procedure? Don't talk to me like that. So we need to start demanding the respect as women in any space. Because the more we let things go, the more we're going to suffer. That woman, I promise you, will never see me and just jump on me.
Talking about women doing that to you too, it comes up a lot about how women do not appreciate other women rising, how women are always pulling each other down. How have you encountered that? Is it something you can testify to? Or?
I see it even with my clients. So 2 weeks ago, this door. This door is pain. So 2 weeks ago, we were shooting with one of our influencers in Rosebank. So she's got a YouTube channel, she does lip syncing, she does pranks and those kind of things. She's amazing. And we saw a trend that we knew existed. So we're there in Rosebank, so because it's pranks, she'll randomly approach people and do whatever prank it is, right? And every time she'll try to go to women, very quickly. And the men will stop and hear what she's saying, and then we do our thing and it's done, right? And that's a very small example to show how that's just a small example to show how we treat each other as women. Not even just as women, as black people. You know, I find in spaces where a white person who is even maybe working for me or is there to support me because I'm the talent, getting better treatment because of their skin tone than me because I'm black. More so, even more so. So we need to change our mentalities, guys. Many of us make more money than many white people. You know? So until we get to that space where we respect each other and support each other as women, collaborating as women, not just in business, on a day-to-day life is very important. You don't see another woman as competition. See another woman as a friend to success. Well, can I tell the story? Do I have permission? I need to ask her first. Should I? Is it okay? Okay. So, Polly and I come a long way. So we met, I was young, I was in primary school. So we didn't know that, 15 plus years later we'll still be friends and we'll still be together. So the universe worked in mysterious ways. So it so happened that somehow I got to get to places where we want to get faster than she has. Not that she's not getting there, she's not going to get there. I just got there first. For whatever reason, maybe it's the purpose and upbringing, there's so many factors that can get into space, right? But because I've always known that she's my sister, and like every other woman in this room, we're all sisters, so we're in this journey together. We've all been disadvantaged as black women who are African from Zim. We've all been disadvantaged. From Zim, so we always have a million things to fight before we rise up. So if it so happens that one of us gets to a space first, why not pull everyone else? Whether learn one board, try and pull whoever you can. So I'll use God as an example. There's many more in my space that when I got, I told you guys about how I moved to Cape Town first to join my family, and then I knew what I'm going to go to Joburg. I knew no one in Joburg. I knew I'm going to UJ. Then UJ, I'm going to apply online. And then I called Oli. I'm like, listen, I'm landing at the airport at this time. I need to go to UJ. I don't even have a place to stay. I have no clue. And Oli said to me, it's okay, come through. At that point, she was also very young. Think about it, I was 18 at the time. She was only 3 years older than me. She was 21. She was young. She had just gotten there. He had just gotten a baby, yeah? Just gotten a baby. She has no job. To try to clean for people just to be able to pay rent and send something home. And she takes a whole load of another grown person into her room in Joburg. I got there. She took time that she could have spent making money to help me find where UJ was, to help me get registered, to help me find what's what I did in the I was supposed to be there just for a few weeks while I was setting up. I was there for maybe 2 or 3 months or something like that because I got comfortable. I felt at home with her. So she never said to me, hi, I don't want to leave for dinner, but of which other people do that. She opened her door with nothing for me and said, listen, we're going to do it together. I see that as a powerful collaboration. As much as she wasn't giving me money, she gave me the support that I needed at the time to be able to grow. And now that I have, it's now my turn to do the same. So when I started the company, I started my company over about 1.5 years ago. And even when I was starting, I would call her, so I want to do this. She had a job somewhere else. She'll spend 9 hours and sevenza into the company instead of into them. Every time we'll talk, because I'm such every time you're helping me start my company. Every single time. That's collaboration. That's sisterhood. That's Ubuntu. That's what she did for me. So I wouldn't be here without people like her. And then when I finally got comfortable with it, yeah, I've got something. Now the company is there. I was 50,000, but and let's come and build this together. And then she came and joined me, and we worked together, and that's how we grow. And she was saying to me, they'll say, yeah, they'll say, spoiler, yes, I'm not copying. Say, PA, there's a and I always try to help her realize our bigger vision. I'm like, think about it. now I have access and there's few certain things, ne? So you wanna go, go uzama upanda wedwa and take another 10-15 years instead of coming with me and we go on the journey together and you get there faster. So it's fine. Because when you and I know we know where we want to go.
You know your purpose.
We know so the day you become the CEO of my company, because I don't want to run my company, I want her to run my company. So I want to just build it because I want to do many other things and move on. So the day she's the CEO of the company, you get what I mean? So don't mind what other people say about you and your journey. Our journeys are different. I might not have had to have somebody one-on-one, but because God put me there, it's my responsibility now to build every other person that I have. And value people who stand with you. I always say, people who stood with me when I had nothing. I will make, my aunt, when I had nothing, those are the people who will never, ever, ever lose me. Because those are the people who have your truest interest at heart, more than the people you fight. I've got so many friends now. Hey, everyone wants to be my friend. Everyone wants to be my friend. Everyone wants to be in the magazine. Everyone wants to be seen with me or have pictures with me. But I prayed so much for wisdom to be able to discern between somebody who's being genuine and somebody who's there just for, she'll still take me in your room and start all over. Because I would so pale, I said, buzz off. I think
what I'm getting again from your story is the purpose, what you have to do to get your purpose. You talked about how you lived in the one-room house with Ukoli, sharing that room. I from you, Jane, find out one room that won't work. Even the community newspaper, you could have said, I was an internet BBC saying, the community newspaper, and you didn't look down upon the steps you had to take to reach your goal.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a lesson, I guess, for everyone else, that there are things that you have to do that are not so flattering, but you know where they're taking you to, as long as you know.
If we clean my window, become the best window cleaner that you can ever make. Let me tell one more story talking about window cleaner.
Ancillar, one more story, yeah.
So there's this guy, you guys should all go and Google, Night Ganja. I'm going to tell the story also because he's Zimbabwean. He's one of my kids. I'm a Forbes under 30s, I'll call them my kids because I find them and work on them and I nurture them and they're amazing and they're my kids. So Night Ganja was born and raised in Harare. So when he was about 14, his friend and him go to Botswana for holiday, school holiday. And Ati was there and he noticed the good tea. Lapha ekhaya izinto zasesiqala ukuba nzima ngibo kunzima manje ngithole opportunity yaseBotswana noma ngithi ngiyajamela umntwana ayi kumele ngiyenze plan waqala ukuhlala umngane wakhe athi sephenduka ngabe isikole sezibona yena unayithi athi hayi mina ngizohlala eBotswana ufuna ukwenza plan wayesenotice ukuthi eBotswana at that time kwakungela ama-billboards amakhulu amabhilbhodi amakhulu kanti la indaba kungena maybe kumele ngingene ngifuna ukuthi ngibe le-advertising firm kuthiwa ngabantu be-advertising abayenza ama-billboard khonapho ngikungu-form 2 ngala sikolo i-accent yakhe lamanje ngazohlangane layo vele ungambona estrageni lapha nxa ungakwazi iluwe ukuthi njani uyacabanga ukuthi vele hayi uyamkhangelela phansi is 14 umngane wakhe sebuyelile babehambe esihlobeni somngane wahamba wahlala esipaza samazenge somkhukhu every day evuka uthola umsebenzi wokuclean amawindi literally amawindi nama-window sill kwenye company ehambe every morning to go clean those windows and aqeda lapho ehambe esifundisa ukuthi kanti vele i-advertising lama-billboard wenziwa njani wathi sekwazi ukuthi i-advertising lama-billboard he's a teenager now, he was now 15 or 16. So wathi sekwazi ukuthi now I need to start the company now so wenza imali. So night, ShopRite eBotswana ivula that month. I was ShopRite client. Think about this. Think about the vision. This is a teenager with no high school education who just has a dream. Ohlala umkhukhwini oyispaza shop. Asikho umkhukho yini. Umkhukho oyispaza shop lama biscuit abantu. Ne? And then his first client ayifuna kube ShopRite. Think about it. Not ukuthi ngizohamba ngiyadinga umuntu wespaza. Ngizohamba ngiyofuna ShopRite. every single day. Ngaku say illegal and passport day every single day he would go to ShopRite. I want to see the CEO. For months on end, every single day he would go to ShopRite and ask to see the CEO because he's got a pitch for him. So much that they became friends, no receptionist. Every single day he did that. Until one day, the receptionist said, there's this young kid, we're talking about something, 2 minutes. And the CEO was like, oh, okay, cool, come in. I think, okay, I run an advertising firm. Got a passport there, I got a business, I registered. Got a high school, oh, I run an advertising firm, so I'm going to advertise. Whatever you're paying now, advertising, so make sure what the price is significantly. So I'm telling them. At that point, guys, I couldn't tolerate the station, I was going to advertising money. So the CEO was like, you kid. Vela, what's the name of this company? So immediately, he was like, immediately, I said, oh, H&G advertising, Herbert and Ganja advertising. Immediately, I was, oh, okay. And then the CEO was like, you know what? I don't even think you can do this, but anyway. If you think you can, if you can raise prices by 25%, if you can lower them rather by 25%, the job is yours. Oh, that's what's the hell of my registration? My client ShopRite, listen to his language. My client ShopRite wants to advertise with you, but we need to review those figures. It doesn't work. And because they're like, okay, let's negotiate. I'll give you long-standing contracts. I need to now do 6 months. So in fact, give me this price and I'll get you a 3-year contract. And obviously they want more advertising, and with 3 years it's more money, it's better than them leaving. So they said yes. So he went back to his first client was ShopRite. The problem now came with the check and so he had to lie and he said, you know, business so so the moment it won't even be able to go up account. Please help me start. And that CEO had seen the drive, etc. And they gave him that. And then passport, etc. His company now turns $48 million a year. They're operating in 14 African markets. He still does not have a high school qualification. And H&G Advertising is one of the fastest growing advertising firms that we have in the continent. This is from a Zimbabwean guy.
Why don't we know these stories? Why don't we know this guy in Zimbabwe? I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Why don't we know about this H&G guy?
It goes back to owning our media with the question that Mandela asked. So I think my answer was also more politically based. In terms of Africa growing and telling our own stories and inspiration, it's also up to us to tell the stories. We need to stop only going and gravitating to negative storytelling. If you read the kind of things that I write, I'm an entrepreneur, storyteller, I write about business, that's what we write about. So most of the things that I write about are stories like that showcase that it's not only possible, but it can be done by whoever, from wherever, however. If you see right now, I promise you, if you don't know, and that's another thing. People who have real money, guys, are born. They are the most humble people. That's how they are.
Yeah. So the potential to be a millionaire. Go ahead. The mic, yeah.
Hi, my name is Greg. I'm a graphic designer by day.
I think your face is so familiar.
Yeah, when I raised there, I was deputy at Forbes at the same time.
Ah, which year?
2003.
Yeah, I got to figure that. Okay.
Yeah, so my question, 1.5 questions. Recently, I think the news came out with Ndlovu-Bhebhe performing at the Voice Australia, and I think he did something. But considering that he's one guy who was rubbished for trying to make a political statement at a time when Zimbabwe was in trouble, And now people are trying to own him. Now he's out there, and we actually kicked him out because of the political system. So the question is around what is the role of politics and journalism? And then the half part of it is, what do you say to people like Odonga who has been pushed away by people who are supposed to own him?
Yeah.
And now things, I don't know if they're seemingly getting better, but maybe in the country to Zimbabwe, what do you see and what would you say to people like him? Thank you.
That's my sister. So, I'll tell you stories to answer your question. Think of Oprah Winfrey. If any of you have ever heard Oprah tell her story and how she was considered ugly and black and weird and nobody liked her, right? She was even fired from her first job in TV because she was too emotional, they called her. Think of Michelle Obama. She's been, nothing, hey, until she became the first lady. Think of Nelson Mandela until he became the Nelson Mandela we know today. So think of even closer to home, Ndabengwa. He died. Now everyone wants to be, everyone said, but when he was there, he was trying to do stuff and he was like, you know. So my message or advice to them is that's how it is. Everything that means something is difficult, and people will tell you you're crazy. If people are not telling you you're crazy, it means that what you're doing is not good enough. People will tell you you're crazy, people will tell you you're not enough, they will tell you you're inadequate, people will tell you that it's not going to work if it's good enough. That's why we've got so few people who are successful, because a lot more people, it's not enough, and then they stop and do something different. Nelson Mandela couldn't stop, neither did Martin Luther King. You know, so if it's meant to be, it's going to be hard, and you're going to get naysayers, you're going to get ridiculed, you're going to get, some of the things I've said here today, I'm going to get ridiculed for them. I'm going to hear things, but you have to speak your truth. And it doesn't matter who says what or how they say it. You know what will happen when everyone finally catches on to you? They'll say, oh, remember that person said that. Because people will catch on. No matter what, people will catch on. What Gilmore is doing now with this kind of things, because he's ahead of the crowd. He's leading the pack, and everyone is going to want him when he's been leading the pack for so long. And even more stupid example, people, when YouTube was first started, YouTube, whatever. Now, people who are making millions on YouTube, first million, the first video on YouTube, and this and this and that. You have to look crazy. Every single thing that was made first, that means something. People thought it was wrong, or the people were crazy, or this is